Hi there, I'm so glad to be here with you all, and we have some super fun things to cover. But first of all, I've been watching people come in to the chat, and I would love to know where you are from. I can see some people are saying California, Chicago. Oh gosh, so wonderful. Where are you popping in from? Say hello, and while you're doing that, I am Kerry Harling, CEO and founder of the Holistic Highway. I'm a mom of a son who is now big. He is 30, author of the 25-day Ayurveda Cleanse. Lucky me that got to write a book and publish a book. I've done a bunch of presentations and speaking engagements, but I think my most important role is to guide others. I'm constantly searching for the latest and coolest breakthroughs in health, especially around digestion and health and toxicity. Today, we're going to be talking about detoxing or cleansing, and I'll use them interchangeably, although I know they mean different things. But I love to talk about cleansing. It's a big area. I have a lot of new stuff, which I'll talk about in a minute, and I'm excited to share it all with you today. But first, I'd love to know, what do you want to learn today? I would love to know why you're here, and more importantly, pulling back the veil a little bit. My dog has exceeded the COVID-20. I have a dog that just weighed in at 145 pounds. Let me see if I can share this with you. If I share my screen and move us forward, nothing happens. All right, let me try that again. There we go. There is my dog. Yeah, so what do you think? This is Bailey. He has just weighed in at 145 pounds. As I said, I'm blaming it on my husband. Yeah, easy scapegoat. But he is the one who gives him the treat. So, you know, we have quite a lot going on with him. But anyone else struggling with a weight gain over this last year or so? I think for my dog, this is technically the quarantine 50, but I mean, what about you? I'd love to see anyone else on the quarantine 20, 30, 40, 50. I'd love to hear what you'd love to learn about today. Why are you here? What are you looking for? But let me tell you what I've got going on. Here's the thing. I love, love, love audience participation. Love it. And yes, I am seeing on chat. Let me stop sharing my screen now. So I am seeing on chat, yes, some of you have put on some weight. Some of you lost some too. Some of you feel that you're a little bit in a rut. Now, I don't know about you, but when we first closed down, I mean, over a year ago now, first I was fine. I'm like having a great time at home. This is awesome. And now I'm so done with COVID. So yeah, let me tell you what I have in store for you. And I'm super excited about it. First of all, we're going to, of course, address why you need to detox, even if you're living in a pristine area. We're going to talk about intermittent fasting and why intermittent fasting is such an amazing tool. And when you put these two things together, oh my gosh, it's not just 1 + 1 = 2. It's like 1 + 1 = 100. So I'm going to share how you can do them together, but also how to do intermittent fasting. And we've been getting so many questions about this. And there are definitely things to do and definitely things not to do with intermittent fasting. The same with detox as well. So we'll be talking about the to-dos and the to-don'ts with intermittent fasting, with detoxing, and why right now is the best time to do this. Plus, make sure you have your worksheet printed out. If you don't have it, go print it out right now. Go to the printer and do it. Why is it so important for you to have your worksheet? Well, I like to make sure that you get the important information. And a big goal for you today is that you'll come out of this and have some great new ways to break through plateaus, to get out of the rut, start having better energy, clean your liver. I saw somebody on chat say, I want to clean my liver, like giving your liver a break, getting out of the rut, knowing some tools that you can put into place right now. And there is some stuff here like intermittent fasting that's great to do on a weekly basis for some of you. So we're going to talk all about that. And of course, we'll talk about how we can all do this together. And if there's one thing I know, the number one reason people don't start doing something is what? Why don't they get started? They don't have a start date. So I always think you're better off when you do this in a group. We're more fun together, we're more powerful together, and a start date is everything, right? So we'll talk about how you can do it with us. And first off, I would love to know who has already done a detox. Let me know in chat. Yeah, I'm looking right now. Yep, Sarah, an A+ for you for stopping smoking. Let's all give Sarah a big virtual applause. Go you. So a lot of you have done detoxes. I'm seeing that. Great. Because one of the things that is super important is to detox. And there's a couple of things. I want you to think of things daily that you can do to detox, and we'll talk about that. And I feel that you should detox at least twice a year. And by the way, that's on your worksheet. Number one, I recommend doing a guided detox or cleanse at least twice a year. And here's why. Well, here's what we do. We do a guided detox twice a year here in Ayurveda and here at the Holistic Highway, once in spring to lighten and brighten up after the heaviness of winter. The other time we detox is in the fall, and that's to build our immunity for the upcoming winter. And of course, immunity is so important, not just to protect us from coronavirus, but we're coming into flu season too. And this will be the last one that we do this year, obviously, as it's October. And how is that it's already October? This year seems so long, yet it seems to be flying by so quickly, if that makes sense. Anyway, this will be the last one that we do this year. We'll do a guided detox, and each time we do one, I bring in new elements so that you can continue to upgrade your health. Then you can learn things that you can pull together into your daily routine. So it's super important to do something that you can focus on, get into some new habits, do things a little bit more intensely, take out the cellular trash, and then you also have some new tools that you can put into your daily diet. You can put into your daily routine to continue you getting healthier and healthier. Because here in our world, we are de-aging. We are just getting better and better. Ayurveda in Sanskrit means the science of life or the science of longevity. So it really is a blueprint for how to live the rest of your life with health and vitality. And that's what I want for you. This is all about how to do that. So how does that sound? Thumbs up if that sounds good for you. Great, I'm getting lots of thumbs up. Okay. I am seeing all the things that you've been doing as I'm looking at chat. Yes, detoxing for Epstein-Barr. Okay, yep. Kathy did a colon cleanse. Julie came off all refined sugars. Tremendous. Yeah, that's amazing. Looks like a pretty advanced group. I see someone did the spring cleanse with me. That was an awesome group, wasn't it? So we do this twice a year. And each year I bring in new stuff. I'm always researching how we can implement new technology and research, but still staying true to the Ayurveda principles that are tried and tested for thousands of years. Now, I've been working on this one for a while because this one is the perfect combination of traditional detox strategies and intermittent fasting. But first, I want to talk about why we should detox. And I need some participation here. Oh, hi, yes, Terry, you were introduced to me at Women's Health Conference. Yes, Terry, I met at Women's Health Conference in Pittsburgh. She's just put into chat. Yes. Oh my gosh, how flattered was I to be on that stage with the ex-Surgeon General Richard Carmona. He's now at Canyon Ranch doing wonderful things, but what a phenomenal person that guy was. So here's the crazy thing. Now, I'm sure as you're listening to this, you're being careful about managing your environment, looking at the cleansers you have, looking at the makeup you use, looking at the body products you use, looking at all the different places where toxins can come in. But even if you're doing all these things, toxins are all around us, right? So what I'd love you to list out now, what I want to see is some of the things, some of the toxins that you can think of. what are some of the different places that you can think? Like I'm thinking you can get heavy metals from some of the different seafood, especially if you're eating predator fish like tuna or swordfish. So heavy metals like mercury in fish. Tell me some of the places that you're seeing toxins. Pesticides, of course. Where else? Cleaning products. Yes, you're right. Sugar, artificial sweeteners. Let's really shout that one out. How are those even allowed? Tap water. Yes. Prescription medications. Yes. Glyphosate. Yes. You guys are really smart. What you're seeing here is that there are toxins everywhere. And I hope you're filtering your water because your skin is like a sieve. You're bathing in that water. You're showering in it. Yep, there's also molds, artificial sweeteners, artificial colorings, plastics, phthalates in those plastics, PCBs, xenoestrogens, they're in plastics. So all these different toxins are in places where we are. So it's in the air, it's in the water, it's in the food, the cleaning supplies, and the carpets, all over the place. So what I want you to put here is that toxins are all around us. List 3 toxins that you can think of. Things like PCPs, phthalates, xenoestrogens, mold, artificial colorings, artificial sweeteners, as we said, all that stuff, okay? List just 3, just 3. So everybody's written that down? Yeah? All right, so here we go. Now that you have all of that, what you probably realize is that there's no way to get away from toxins completely. Even if you were to go and live somewhere far, far away where humans have never been, you would still find there are toxins. That's because of our air currents, the water flowing, right? So everywhere there are toxins, we just can't get away from them. Now, you're still going to want to minimize them. And ideally, the first thing we want is to minimize your toxic exposure. But remember, if you are not regularly removing toxins, they're going to build up in your fat cells. Yes, write it down. So if you are not regularly removing toxins, they are going to build up in your fat cells. This is the big place they get stored, and that's why they wreak havoc on your body. Now, I want you to think of something here. We often think of our bodies as a bank account, you know, that toxins accumulate, they just get more and more. But that's not really true. Your body is one big, complex, but dynamic system, much like a chemistry lab, and that's in the worksheet. This is so true with toxins, because remember that old weight loss adage that if you want to lose weight, you have to eat less and exercise more, except we know that doesn't work. Why? Because hormones run everything. If your thyroid's not working well, if you have high insulin resistance, you're insulin resistant, if you've got estrogen dominance, your body is going to store fat, not burn it. You're no longer an efficient fat burner. You're then going to feel sluggish. You're going to feel fatigued. You're going to be constipated. You're going to feel bloated. You're going to have cravings, all that terrible stuff, right? So your body is not a bank account. It's a complex, dynamic chemical system, and toxins disrupt this chemistry lab because they impact the core hormones that help you lose weight and feel great. These are thyroid, estrogen or estrogen, insulin. Now, here's a super interesting one. There was a study done, and it was called the NHANES study. This study looked at nurses, and prior to this study, there was the belief that obesity caused diabetes. But what they discovered in this study was that it was not the obesity that was driving diabetes. It was actually the toxins that were stored in the fat cells that were lowering the body's metabolism that was creating the diabetes. It was changing the way the body handled blood sugar, the way the body handled insulin, and also lowering metabolism. So it's not just the calories. And we tend to still think, oh, I'll cut calories to lose weight. But you have to make sure your blood sugar is working well, your insulin is working well, you have to have good thyroid function, that your estrogen and progesterone levels are balanced. And you can get high estrogen just from the foods you're eating, just because some of the xenoestrogens that are in plastics. And by the way, with thyroid, and this is what is super important, Not only is your body not a bank account, it's a chemical system, but it is also a history book. So here it is. Your body is also a history book. And that means that these toxins, if you are not removing them from your body, getting them out, well, guess what they're doing? You're storing them in your body, and these are accumulating. Now, here's the big challenge that we see with studies that are looking at toxins. First of all, you have to realize that when companies are studying ingredients that are toxic to the human body, they want to show that they're safe so that they can put them in their products. That's kind of a conflict of interest. But the bigger issue is the toxins that are storing up and combining with other toxins, then that creates a problem. Case in point, if you are doing Splenda, you're getting chlorine. If you are doing bleached white bread, please don't do that, or bleached wheat flour, you're getting bromide. If you are brushing your teeth, and look on your toothpaste container, and you'll see that it says do not swallow. In fact, more than a pea size of toothpaste is toxic. So these things together, chlorine, bromide, and toothpaste, are toxic to your thyroid. This is a huge problem. These things store and combine and create more of a problem. In fact, this is one of the biggest problems with weight loss resistance. So answer to number 4, our bodies are not a bank account. They are a complex, dynamic chemical system. And number 5, your body is also a history book. So remember, all these toxins are storing in your body. They're combining to create weight loss resistance and wreak hormonal havoc. Now your metabolism is slowing down because here's what your body's thinking. I better hold on to this fat so that it can keep these toxins locked away. So it actually makes your body worse at burning fat. And I want you to be super good at burning fat, don't you? So let's recap a little. Some big things that we're realizing here. You're being bombarded by toxins every single day. So we first have to minimize that exposure. So that's number 1, minimize the exposure. And then you also want to make sure that on a daily basis, you're doing activities that are going to help your body get rid of these toxins. And we'll be talking about those. However, I believe that if we can get together at least twice a year and really focus, it's that one thing, that 1 week, the one focus, this cleanse will facilitate bigger detoxification in your body. And what you notice in a week is remarkable. It helps you break through weight loss plateaus. You'll have more energy. You'll get out of that rut. You'll start to lose the bloat. You'll get rid of inflammation, fatigue. Sounds good, right? Are you in? Okay. So you should now have the answers to number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Thumbs up. Are we good? Do you have those? Let me know. Yes, it looks like everybody's got them. So yeah, Catherine, I love that. Detoxing twice a year is so important. I'm going to share about some of the things not to do, but also think about some of the things that you can put into your daily life. And then we're going to do something that can really show you how you can focus, how things are going to be more intense for a week, because, you know, we can do anything for a week, right? Can we agree on that? Anything for a week? All right. So let's talk about intermittent fasting. And who's heard of intermittent fasting? Let me know. Yeah. It looks like you all have, and it's become quite a buzzword lately. Yep, lots of people. So intermittent fasting is an amazing tool. I'm going to share with you what you should do before you start intermittent fasting. But let's talk about what intermittent fasting does. And one of the amazing things it does is that it can create something called caloric variability. If all you did, if you wanted to lose weight, was say, hey, I'm just going to downshift my calories for good. I'm just going to take them down. If I'm used to eating 2,000 calories a day, now I'm going to start eating 1,200 calories a day. Well, that would work for a little while. Then your body would be like, wow, I'm starving over here. And it would downshift your metabolism to accommodate it. So we've all tried it. I'm pretty sure you have. I certainly have. And we know what happens. Nothing good in the end. But here's what's cool about intermittent fasting. It cycles the feeding and fasting. Now that's number 6. The key to intermittent fasting is the cycle of feeding and fasting. Now, this is something that you can put into your regimen. You can rotate it in to create that caloric variability. You know what? This is the way things used to be thousands of years ago. We did not wake up to have breakfast, a snack, lunch, a snack, and then a big dinner, and then often an evening snack. Some days we would just skip food altogether. Some days we would just feast. So things were variable. And this is a very important thing to add in. And this is because it creates a ton of biochemical processes that are really beneficial. And I'll get to that. So the most popular way to do intermittent fasting is something called the 16-8 feeding schedule. That means that you don't eat for 16 hours, but you do eat for 8, but not continuously. So 16-8 feeding schedule, that is number 7. The most popular way to do intermittent fasting is the 16-8 feeding schedule. Got it? However, I will tell you that within that, there are different ways to do that. And what I found works best for women in general, and what you need to do, you know, to sort of work into this. So I've done some studying into this. And you don't suddenly decide one day, okay, this is it, I'm doing it, I'm fasting. We'll talk about what you do first as well. But the most popular is that 16-18 feeding schedule. All right, we're good through number 7? Okay, so we're all good through 1 through 7. All right, so here we go. How does intermittent fasting benefit you? And I'll tell you that if this was a prescription drug, it would be the most prescribed prescription drug ever. It's just crazy, the benefits here. After this, you're gonna go, how do I do this? Again, I'm going to walk you through what I found to work the best, especially for women, and what you need to do to prepare for intermittent fasting. How to use intermittent fasting both during this focused cleanse, the focused detox that we're going to do, and then how to take it into your everyday life. And what a great way to do this. So let's talk about this. You ready? The benefits of intermittent fasting. Number 1, it reduces your risk factor for diabetes. And I got to tell you, I look right now what's going on with coronavirus, and probably the biggest risk factor is being diabetic, being hypertensive too. Intermittent fasting is super important to help reduce that risk. It's a great tool for that. Number 2, intermittent fasting reduces your visceral fat. What's that? That is belly fat, my friends. It reduces belly fat, helps reduce blood sugar and insulin levels. It improves insulin sensitivity. And here's why that's so important. If you have elevated blood sugar, even mildly elevated blood sugar, you have 5 times the risk of dementia. That's 5 times. And you might find that you've been trying to eat well, yet your blood sugar levels are not really coming down. Well, use intermittent fasting. It's a great tool for rapidly improving your blood sugar and insulin. Now, the more sensitive your body is to insulin, the insulin doesn't have to go up as high. If insulin is high all the time, then we see a lot of inflammation. At that point, you basically can't burn off fat. You're going to find that you just can't burn off that stored fat because you've locked the doors to the fat cells, which means you're then probably always hungry. It's a total bad catch-22. It really is. Okay, next one, number 3. Intermittent fasting increases adiponectin levels and reduces leptin levels. These are 2 super important hormones for making you able to lose weight because they regulate appetite and your ability to burn fat. When you increase adiponectin and reduce leptin, you're just not as hungry. You can burn fat better. It stimulates weight loss and it slow stimulates the browning of white adipose tissue. You probably heard about something called BAT fat. That is brown adipose tissue. Brown fat around your waist is actually the easy fat to burn, whereas white fat just hangs in there. You just can't get rid of it. It just wants to hold on. So you want BAT fat if you're going to want fat at all, right? The next thing, and this is why it's so cool and critical for detoxing, this is why I thought if we put together traditional cleansing with intermittent fasting, then this would be the most amazing tool ever. And this is because it triggers something called autophagy. Autophagy, and that's literally like eating your cells. And what that does is it takes out the cellular trash. It takes out the debris. It gets rid of old cells, dead cells that need to be out of here. It just takes them out. And ultimately, it increases longevity. It actually boosts something called the CYRI1 gene that improves longevity. So some other benefits of detoxing with intermittent fasting: it reduces inflammation in the brain, the heart, and the body, helps you make new mitochondria. And why is that important? Because that's going to determine how much energy you have. How are you feeling all day long? How are your energy levels? And who wants amazing energy all day long, right? Come on, we all do. It protects against oxidative stress. Think about that apple that you take a bite of. It browns. That's you. We don't want that. We don't want oxidative stress because that's aging. It's aging and it's inflammation. So we use antioxidants to combat the free radicals created by oxidative stress. So let's go over the different things that it does. Ready? Number 8, intermittent fasting can help you by reducing belly fat, by improving blood sugar balance, lowering inflammation. Let's go over that again. Intermittent fasting can benefit you by reducing belly fat, improving blood sugar balance, and lowering inflammation. And my gosh, if this was a prescription drug, could you imagine? I mean, it'd be incredible. All right, next step. Again, I think you're seeing that if you put together traditional detox strategies with intermittent fasting, then this is the ultimate detoxification. So right now, let's do a little review of where you're at. In general, you may be feeling tired, you may be feeling uninspired or just frustrated. Maybe you feel like you're just stuck in a rut. You may be feeling a little bloated or just heavy. And I want you to just imagine. I want you to imagine feeling lighter in just 7 days. I want you to feel like you have more energy than you ever thought possible in just 1 week. Imagine that you have a tool that you can use now to get back to feeling totally confident in your body. And that's what this can do for you. Once you learn how to do this, and by the way, I love doing this a couple of times a year. I also rotate some of these practices into my diet a few times a week as well. So I'm always detoxing. And then I'm adding in that caloric variability, taking out the cellular trash. So it makes it automatic then for you to maintain your weight, to age well. I don't like anti-aging. It sounds like, you kind of stopped altogether. I want to age well. And as I talk with clients, no one minds aging. They just want to do it well with health and vitality. So aging well with vitality, easily maintaining weight. Does that sound good to you? What do you think? Are you in for that? So this is totally possible. We can totally do this together. So let's look at what it would look like for us to move on together, because it's all totally possible. Next up, I'm going to talk about intermittent fasting, how to do it, what you need to know as you step into it, I should say, and also the detox. So the do's and the don'ts about detox, but you may have to leave early, and I know I'm probably right at that halfway mark. So before I do that, I'm going to talk about how you can participate with us on our group detox. And those of you who have done it before, you know how awesome this is. And I know we have people who come back every single time we do a guided one. And there are new people here too, which is super fun. So I'm going to walk through what it is, all the things we've been doing to prepare for our 7-day detox. And this is where the whole of the Holistic Highway team comes together to help support you through this cleanse. So if you're saying yes to yourself, of course, I want to know. So then what I want to do is I want to bring up my slide, And I have to let you into a secret. I'm actually recording this for the second time tonight. We've already done it once, but I forgot to hit record. So now I'm having to do the whole thing by myself right now. So let me share my screen. And we should be able to do it here. And remember, this was Bailey. So we're going to fast forward Bailey. So as I say, bear with me as I do this by myself. I did have somebody earlier on, but I should hit the right button, shouldn't I? So I wanted to just share with you, because if you've done any of our cleanses before, we have brand new stuff. And if you haven't, oh my gosh, you are in for a treat. Because in just a week, you are going to be blown away at how different you feel. One of the things we always do when we start a detox is we want to make sure that you know exactly where you are starting from. We start with a symptoms tracker at the beginning, and we do a toxicity quiz too, because I want to know all the places the toxins could be coming in for you. Of course, you'll have your journal, you'll be tracking what you eat every single day, how you're sleeping, your emotional well-being, and what exercises you're doing. And we have a brand new meal plan that incorporates this intermittent fasting. This is all along with the meal plans, the recipes, the shopping lists. We included 1 week of recipes for you when you come off your detox too. And these are 5 new recipes that are designed for your dosha in the fall season. So we've got lots of stuff in here, and you can keep using this whenever you want. So you can keep reusing these recipes. And if I sort of go to the next slide, and of course, with this, we'll also be doing our Facebook group. We'll all be starting at the same time. So we're going to start on the 25th of this month. However, as soon as you say yes to yourself, we're going to ship you out all your stuff. And you'll be sent all the information before you get started. We'll be shipping out all the cool stuff I'm about to show you. And there's stuff you're going to do to prepare before we all start on the 25th. So here's what's awesome and amazing about all of this. Number one, we have the program, the cleanse, at a $75 value, and you're welcome to purchase the cleanse for just $75. We've kept it at a low cost for you because we know how tough it still is out there for so many people. But if you want to just get some of the added stuff you may use in the cleanse, then you can get that as part of your cleanse too. So we have triphala, and triphala means 3 fruits. Triphala, tri meaning 3, phala meaning fruits. And triphala is important on a cleanse because it helps tone that digestive system. It keeps that peristaltic movement going well. And this is amazing because it has a long history of supporting your colon during a cleanse. It's a great detox health blend. It has 3 fruits in it: amalaki, which is Indian gooseberry; haritaki, which helps keep your bowels movement; and bibataki, which helps enhance immunity. It also helps with your digestion, and it's so important to make sure that you're digesting well when you're detoxing. Now, here's the cool thing about triphala. It makes sure your digestion is running smoothly and your digestive fire or your metabolism is working well. You want to be an efficient fat burner, and that can't happen if your digestion is sluggish or inefficient. Here's what happens when your digestive fire doesn't work well. Your digestive fire just gets smaller and smaller. You can't burn through the food, or you can't digest the food that you're ingesting. So digestive toxins build up. These digestive toxins are called ama. They're in the digestive system for a while. After about 3 or 4 months, they tend to leave the digestive system and they'll settle in tissues. This is when you start getting symptoms: gas and bloating, joint ache, maybe brain fog. So you'll start seeing signs and symptoms, and it really is just these digestive toxins building up. So have a look at your tongue. You'll see a white coating on your tongue. If there's any white coating, this is evidence of ama. So we also put in this tongue scraper, because part of what you're going to do to help detox is scrape all that junk or ama off your tongue each morning just before you clean your teeth. This is the ama showing up on your tongue. If you have a white coating on your tongue, as I said, it is evidence of ama. Now, I'm also going to put into this kit your body oil. This body oil is your self-massage oil so that you can do a lymphatic massage daily. Let me just take a swig of my water. Now, this oil, besides smelling wonderful, is filled with over 180 different herbs that are right for your dosha and the season that you're in. These herbs are all detoxifying and cleansing. They're nourishing herbs. They have essential oils in them as well for your body. There's ashwagandha and shatavari for those of you who are familiar with Ayurveda herbs, all designed to rejuvenate, nourish, and cleanse. And you know that doing a good lymphatic massage is helping the lymphatic system take the toxins away. The lymphatic system is a bit like the sewer pipes in your house, all designed to take that waste away. I'll also add the castor oil. And why castor oil? So castor oil is a very gentle laxative because at the end of the day, it is plant-based. So unlike other laxatives like senna or saline, it's still lubricating and nourishing to the colon. So it doesn't dehydrate. It also doesn't have that same rubber band effect that other laxatives can have that might back you up after a flush. So castor oil is also very good at drawing out any excess heat from your body. It is great for people who have any sort of gastric inflammation or bouts of chronic inflammation in the lower half of the GI tract too. So every 3 months or once a quarter is actually the perfect time to perform a castor oil cleanse because the toxins are still in your digestive system. They have not yet disseminated from the GI tract into the bloodstream and traveled to other parts of your body. That happens about every 4 to 5 months. And if you can prevent that from happening, you're able to use castor oil as a preventative measure. That's going to help combat any imbalances or disorders. So this is a $220 program, but not for you. It's $159. So how awesome is that, right? Now, next step, there are 2 ways that you can do this. You can just get the basic cleanse, come in and join us on the cleanse for $75, or you can get the more comprehensive kit for $159. That's the cleanse and the kit. Now, I'm going to recommend that you get the comprehensive kit because it's a super deal. It includes the tongue scraper, the triphala, which is going to help keep you regular, and your personalized body oil that is right for your dosha, as well as the castor oil. You can grab whichever one works for you. I say get the comprehensive program because it is such a great big deal. And also it comes with free shipping. So also for the first 25 people that sign up for this, you will get this super rejuvenating and nourishing facial serum. You can see it there. You can see it here as well. And here's what's cool about this facial serum. It is individualized for your dosha, for who you are and the season that you're in. So you know it's just right for you. It reduces your tendency towards personal care products that have got chemicals in them. And I'm going to stop sharing with you now because you've probably seen everything that comes in with the kit. But you know, as I said just recently at another workshop, by the time we have gotten ready in the morning to walk out the door, we have put on over 50 different self-care products and over 150 different chemicals. And we want to limit that toxic exposure. So using a natural skincare product like your facial serum is a great way to do this. And in fact, we haven't actually launched it yet, so you've got a heads up to this, but we actually have our skincare products. So this is our new skincare line, Ceuticals. And we developed this so that it was personalized for each person and right for the season and no chemicals. So we're very excited about that. So you'll hear about that. We're almost ready to launch. So using a natural skincare product is a great way to help with that. Now, you know I'm a big fan of natural products, and this facial serum is a great thing to use during that week. And of course, it's for the first 25 people. So if you're saying yes to yourself, sign up straight away so that we send this to you. Remember, we will also have throughout that whole time, every day, I'll have a live Facebook video that I'll be doing. So every day you'll get a video training that I put together for you. You'll be in the Facebook group. We've got Lisa in there every day supporting you, helping, coaching you. You've got your recipes, your meal plans, your shopping list, the trackers. You got it all. You are covered, my friends. And it's amazing. I love everybody in chat just saying, yes, yes, this was great. Super awesome. So remember, the first 25 people will get the facial serum. You'll have the whole program. If you go for the basic kit, you have all the materials needed to get started. If you go for the more comprehensive kit, you have the program and the trifler, the tongue scraper, the body oil, and the castor oil. You probably already have in your inbox the links to register for the program. The program is 7 days. And right now, when you say yes to yourself, you'll start getting all the information. There are things we're going to want to have you get started with now, and I'm going to talk about those. And then we will start together on the 25th. But there are things that you want to do to prepare, right? Like we have to ship your stuff to you. These products need to get to you. And hey, I tell you too, if you have a friend, well, friends don't let friends be toxic, right? And yes, I've just got a question. Yes, Julie, if you want to do this at a different time, yeah, of course you can. You'll still have all the information, the videos, you'll have everything to do it. So you can do it at another time. We're going to get started as a group on the 25th. But if you want to do this at a different time, then you can do whatever works best for you. Okay, so let's go back to our worksheet. And here we go. Let's talk about intermittent fasting and how best to do it. So what I want you to know is that it is a step into process with intermittent fasting. So even though that we're all going to get started on the 25th, I want you to start some of this now. Okay. And one of the really important things with intermittent fasting is that you really want to make sure that you're doing everything you need to achieve good blood sugar level balance. So I talk about eating by the plate being clean protein, things like clean fish, things like grass-fed beef, wild caught fish, also healthy fats. These are things like avocados, low roasted nuts and seeds, coconut milk, coconut oil or coconut butter, extra virgin olive oil, and then fiber from slow, low carbs, and loads and loads and loads of non-starchy seasonal vegetables. By the way, we have lots of recipes for non-starchy seasonal vegetables. My biggest goal is that we're going to show you in so many ways how to get vegetables in and get hooked on them too. And that this is the way to do it through the cleanse. Okay, so this is the first way. You just have to make sure that your meals have clean protein, healthy fats, fiber from slow, low carbs, and lots of non-starchy seasonal vegetables. So why are we doing this? Because the protein and the fiber slows down stomach emptying. This keeps a hormone called ghrelin suppressed, so you're not hungry. It's going to help you feel fuller longer. The fat triggers the release of some neuropeptides or neural messengers in your small intestines that tell your brain that you ate. So that's why we do this. Plus, having the fiber in there and having the protein with the fat keeps your insulin from going up too high. It's going to keep your blood sugar levels much more stable. And you notice I've talked a lot about fiber, and I've showed you my extra fiber product, my trifler. That is my secret weapon because it balances blood sugar. It helps pull out toxins as well. Plus, it's going to make you have poops that you are going to be proud of. I have to say that. But it's going to bulk your stools. It's going to help you stay regular. It pulls out toxins and balances your blood sugar levels. So number 9, ready? Number 9, fiber is my secret weapon as it helps balance blood sugar and helps pull out toxins. Okay, there you go. Perfect. Now that's step 1, is we have to have good blood sugar levels. The next I want you to start working on stopping eating at least 3 hours before bed. Important, do not go to bed later so that you can eat later. If you go to bed at 10 o'clock, then dinner by 7. Bonus points if you can have dinner before 6 o'clock at night. There needs to be at least 3 hours or more between dinner and bed. And here's a little hint. If you're hungry before bed, have a glass of water. It'll shut down those hunger pangs. Just have 1 glass though, don't have a gallon, otherwise you'll be up peeing all night long. Now, next things, when you wake up, have a little hot water with lemon, squeeze fresh lemon, and then wait. I want you to wait a little while before you have breakfast. And that's because I want you to get to work on a 12-hour window of fasting before you eat again. We're looking to extend your overnight fast. So that is step 1. One of the things that's helped me in my life is that the kitchen is shut down after dinner. In my perfect world, there would be a lockdown in my kitchen. So after dinner, just go ahead and lock it down. It doesn't open till at least 12 hours later. So that's your first place to start. Dinner's between 6 and 7, and then breakfast would be 7 o'clock or later. So for me now, I'll eat dinner between 6 and 7 and have breakfast between, 8 and 9 in the morning. But during intermittent fasting, I'll push it. I'll push dinner earlier. So dinner will be between 5 and 6, and then breakfast is still between 8 and 9. That's a good long fast. And I found for women especially, we do a little better if we have breakfast between 8 and 9 and dinner a little earlier at around 5 o'clock at night. So if you ate breakfast at 9, then dinner at 5, breakfast at 10, then dinner at 6. But you want to really have finished dinner by about 6. Does that make sense? And I want you to get started on these things the week before we officially start together. And again, you can do this whenever you want, but if you want to do it with a group, we'll all start on the 25th. So start extending that window. Eat by the plate, get your blood sugar levels balanced, start drinking a lot of water in between meals because then you're not snacking. And snacking is the worst idea ever. Let's talk about snacking. I want you to imagine that in your belly is a fire, your digestive fire or metabolism. And this is what happens when we snack. Let's say we start off our day with breakfast. It's like putting a log on that fire. And then we grab a handful of something, and that's like putting a load of twigs on that fire. And then we grab a handful of something else, and that's more twigs on that fire. And then comes lunchtime, and we put another great big log on that fire. And then mid-afternoon, we grab a handful of pretzels, maybe some popcorn, maybe Halloween candies looking good round about now. And then that's a load more twigs on that fire too. And then come the evening, here goes another log as we have our evening meal. But what happens to that fire, that digestive fire by the end of the day, when you have just constantly bombarded it with logs and twigs? Yeah, it goes out. Yes, that's your digestion. So snacking is not a good idea. So I want you to stop snacking, but drink a lot of water in between meals. And I'm going to give you some different fluid recommendations in the program that's going to help with blood sugar balance and help you stave off cravings too. But the goal is for the next week: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, no snacks, lots of water in between. Then we're going to start having dinner a little earlier and breakfast a little later. See how easy that is? So something cool that you can do just on a regular basis, even if this is all you do. You can do this a couple of days a week, just throw it in, see what works well for you. I find it works really well for me on the weekends. So I'll do 2 days of intermittent fasting on the weekend and throw one in during the week. If I'm traveling, which hasn't happened at all, but if I'm traveling and changing time zones, I always use intermittent fasting there. All right, so let's talk about the do's and don'ts of detoxing. One of the things you're going to do is take our toxicity quiz, and that's going to identify things. First, it's going to identify where toxins are coming in. So clearly, don't add more toxins in. Look at every area where toxins are potentially coming into your life, like the containers you're using. Are you buying bottled water in plastic? Are you buying canned vegetables and maybe they're not BPA free lined cans? So if I'm doing tomato sauces, I like those glass jars or bottles because tomatoes are acidic and they'll break down plastic. But look at all the different options. Are you buying organic, especially for the Dirty Dozen from the Environmental Working Group? So let's clean out wherever possible because we don't want to add more. We want to control that as much as possible. And then the next thing we want to look at is what are the things that we can do on a regular basis to get rid of those toxins? One of the key ones, and you'll see this in the program, is that we're going to have you eat a lot of seasonal vegetables. You know, all those root vegetables like carrots, greens, sweet potatoes, those fall squashes. So that's number 10. Eating lots of detoxing foods like apples, beets, and parsley. And the reason to eat these foods is because your body detoxes in multiple phases. First, it frees things up and then it gets it out. It's not good if you just free things up, get the toxins out of the fat cells, but not out of the body. That's when you say, wow, I feel terrible. What's going on? I feel worse on this cleanse. I've got headaches. I just feel terrible. And this is actually where many cleanses stop. They get the toxins out of your fat cells and then they just leave you there. In fact, many fruit juice cleanses do just this. And that's why we use castor oil to remove those toxins that have accumulated in the GI tract out of the system. We're going to use the natural systems of the body to remove those toxins. Detoxification is a nutrient-dense process. And I think that's number 11, which is eat nutrient-dense foods. A detox and cleanse are a nutrient-dense process, and that's why we use our food as medicine and make a nutrient-dense green super drink. And we have great recipes to make your foods even more nutrient-dense. So it's really important to have nutrient-dense food when you do this. A lot of antioxidants are needed to reduce inflammation. You're freeing up toxins. We've got to get them out, right? Otherwise, we're going to create more damage, more problems, more inflammation. So we've got to make sure that we're getting the toxins out as we're doing this. That's so important. But just as important is water. Water, 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 water. And here's why. Because how do we get these toxins out? We're going to pee them out. We're going to poop them out. We're going to sweat them out. And we're going to fast them out. Because fasting triggers the autophagy that takes out the cellular trash. So number 12, we are peeing, we are pooping, and we are sweating out, and we are fasting it out. That's fasting it out. So remember, we're taking out the cellular trash with the intermittent fasting. We're going to enhance detoxifying with a lymphatic massage using your dosha-specific body oil. And you can also enhance detoxing with things like exercise. And we'll have a dynamic yoga sequence for you. You can use a sauna, hot showers, more exercise, or other things you can do as well. And you want to make sure that you're eliminating. And that's where Triphala is so awesome. So a big shout out for Triphala, and also taking your dosha teas and spices. You'll get the recipe for those in your program. And these are going to be vital for keeping the body systems running smoothly. All this is going to enhance your elimination. So lots of water, take your Triphala, lots of lymphatic massages and your cleansing teas and spices and the cleansing recipes in the program. So this is why this is so awesome to do here right now, because we can manage it right now. We're at home. It's kind of that thing where people say, oh my gosh, I'm stuck at home, I'm eating, I'm bored, I'm blah. But you are at home. Let's do this before the holidays come in. Because right now you can control things. When we get into holiday season, it's not going to be so easy. You can right now control your environment. You can get on a better schedule. You can easily make these things. And this is actually very easy to do. When you do intermittent fasting or shorten your feeding window, you can do 3 simple meals a day that we give you the recipes for. It's a really simple thing to do. So it's simple for you to do. Now is great news. Now you have more control over your schedule and your meals. But of course, if you're not on a program like this and you're at home, well, hey, it's just more chance to just snack and graze and throughout the day, but not on my watch. So we'll be able to do this together as a group or together. And again, if that doesn't work for your schedule, not to worry, you can jump in whenever's right for you. You'll have all the tools you need to do it whenever you want to do it. But I always love to have a start date if I can, and I always love to work with other people. All right, let's go through the offer one more time. And I also want to remind you that for the first 25 people, you'll get this super cool facial serum. It's mighty, and I love mine. I travel with it. I use it throughout the day. It's great to use during that week. And yeah, it works for men too. So, okay, let's talk through this. Let's go through the basic stuff. So I just want to make sure that you know everything that's in this program. It's a brand new program. It's our detox that combines the traditional strategies of Ayurveda with intermittent fasting. You're going to get the meal plans with this. You'll also get 3 additional meal plans that are right for your dosha. So you get a lot here after the cleanse too, to make sure that you stay on the right track and eat foods that are right for you. You could do this a couple of times a year by yourself, but if you want to do it with us, even more fun, we'll be starting on the 25th. Also, beyond the meal plans and the recipes, we'll have the shopping list too. That way, you'll know exactly what to do. Super easy, takes the guesswork out of it. I'm not up for figuring out what to buy and what to make, so we make it super simple for you with easy recipes. This is not one of these, oh, now I have to spend 10 hours in the kitchen cleanses. No, we are not doing that. Super easy to do. And of course, the health tracker, very important. The minute you start this, I want you to take the toxicity quiz. Super important to see where you're starting from, get that baseline. So take the toxicity quiz, see where the toxins are showing up, see how you're doing detoxifying them. Take the symptoms tracker to see where the toxins are showing up in your body. Take a before shot because you are going to be blown away with what can happen in a week. You're going to be amazed with what happens with your waist, your weight, your energy levels, your symptoms like energy, gas, and bloating. Even your skin's going to get a glow to it. It is so awesome. So that's the first thing. And of course, there's the Facebook group, and I'll be sending you videos every day of things to do. Nothing overwhelming. This is literally minutes a day because we're busy, right? So just to clarify, you can just say yes to yourself and do this 7-day Ayurveda detox for $75, or get the cleanse and the products I just went through for $159. You save $100, as this would normally be a $259 package. The body oil alone on our shop is $55. So, oh, and of course you get the facial serum if you sign up for the first 25 people. Now, this is what we're going on. We're going to start on the 25th if you can. If you can't, no sweat. You can do this whenever you want to. But the offer will be going away to get the products because obviously this offer is insane. As I said, this is just $55 by itself. The offer is only here until Monday. But you don't want to wait until Monday because you're going to miss out on the facial serum. First 25 people get it. I don't want you missing out. So it's a week-long detox, but I want you to get started on your tracking right away. Start doing your 12-hour intermittent fasting. Get that underway to start getting your blood sugar levels stabilized. So there's a lot you can do to go ahead and get started now. All right? Okay, you guys? It has been amazing. I hope you love the program I put together. It has been quite a process. We've been working on this for quite a while now, and I'm super excited to share it with you. I'm super excited to do it with you as well. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the Facebook group. We'll be doing this together as a group, but remember, if you want to wait, you can. Now you'll have the tools in the program to be able to do this whenever you want. So again, my goal is that you'll go intense for a week. You're going to see amazing results. So if you're here now and you're feeling a little tired, a little bloated, a little stuck, then again, just imagine 1 week, more energy, right? Less inflammation, more confidence, less belly bloat, all in a week. and you'll have these tools that you can bring into everyday life. So I figure if we can do this intensely for 1 week, then after that week, you'll take some of the tools and you'll bring them into your everyday life. So we just keep getting better and better and better together. So that's it. It's been terrific. I want to honor our time together and make sure that I end on time. And I appreciate you. And I look forward to doing this with you. And I'd love to know what you think as we dive into it. It's the best one yet. So I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.